Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo. It's a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people around the community. And this show is being taped on Monday, September the 25th. And today we're going to talk Cleveland Indians baseball as we near the end of the season and get ready for postseason baseball. And with me today, my guests are Bill Kehoe, who goes to spring training how many years now?
About 13 maybe.
13 consecutive years he's been with the Indians down in spring training. And of course we have the sports editor of the Star Beacon, Mike Greco, who's been on the show before, as has Bill. Welcome both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How excited are you, Mike, about the Indians?
Well, I would say we have to be pretty excited after what we've experienced here, and especially after the All-Star break. Of course, the 22 game winning streak. I would think that would excite all Indians fans, going ahead into the postseason.
Yeah, when you look at the first half of the season, including the first week after the All-Star break, the Tribe was 48-45. Not too much to get excited about, but holding right around that 500 mark. But since then, 50-13. Bill, have you ever seen anything like it?
No, it's really amazing. I mean, being an Indians fan, as old as we are, to really appreciate this, it's something else.
It is. It's just incredible. I still don't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing. 2 wins shy of 100. How important is that, do you think, to the Indians, Bill?
What's the question?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 wins shy of 100. Do you think that's so important to the ball club to get that?
Oh yeah. I think that would just add to the winning streak and everything else that's happened this year.
A lot of little goals as the season goes along. You agree with that, Mike, that they're after 100 wins?
Yes, I think Tito's going to play it out just like normal. They obviously want the home field advantage overall in the MLB for the, in case we get to the World Series, to have that home field advantage throughout the World Series. I think he's going to play it out just like normal, in the last 6 games, and just play it out like normal and see how they do.
They have that 2.5 game lead over Houston for the best record in the American League. Houston's got a tough week. They've got 3 in Texas and 4 at Boston. And the Indians, of course, have 3 with the Twins and 3 with the White Sox at home. Divisional games, so you never know about divisional games. And they're 1 game back of the LA Dodgers for the Major League best record. The Dodgers took 2 out of 3 from the Indians, so I'm assuming if they ended in a tie that the Dodgers would get that.
But that all, assuming that maybe the Dodgers get knocked off, that all changes too.
Yeah, right,
So.
exactly. The Dodgers are going to be playing the Padres this week, which is a divisional game.
Right.
And I'm not sure who they end up with. Bill, what's been your biggest surprise so far, or during this year? Anything stand out for you? Like I said, Bill saw the Indians in spring training. Is there anything that has been surprising to you on what the Indians have done so far this year?
Well, who'd have thought Frankie hits 33 home runs, and Jose has the season he's having and takes over second base. Yandy Diaz, I saw him in spring training, wasn't too impressed defensively, yet he's done the job. I never thought I'd see Greg Allen. Mejia, what great opportunities for those 2 guys. But I honestly never thought I would see him here. Jay Bruce, great acquisition. It's just like whatever Tito does, it's just like magic.
I know, and we still question him sometimes, don't we?
Yeah,
We're going to get into some questioning things in a minute. Mike, what about you? What's been a big surprise for you?
I'd have to say Bauer. We kind of knew we had some talent. We didn't necessarily knew we had it upstairs all the time, but he seems to have channeled his inner Bauer into some success this year. Austin Jackson, he's been lights out with his glove with the play in Boston, of course, defensively, and
play yesterday
with some clutch hitting, and then Bradley Zimmer and with his fielding and hitting, and unfortunately he pulled a not so smart slide in the first that one play, but
How do you fault somebody for hustling?
Yeah, he's a young kid who's trying to make an impression, so you really can't fault him too much for that. But Just the whole team is just it's
fun to watch.
It's uncommon to see a team like this that is so close and just everybody's just contributing. It's really rare to see nowadays a team like this that it's just really unique.
Does all the winning right now scare you at all a little bit going into October as far as a energy deflator?
I would say no. I mean, I don't think you have to. People say you have to lose once in a while to get continue success. I don't buy that theory. Mm-hmm. You try to win every time you go out there. And if somebody beats you, they beat you, and it can happen.
Sure.
Can't happen with the Indians, and if it happens, it happens. So I don't buy that theory. You go out there, you try to win every game, and you see what happens.
That's exactly what they're doing too. Bill, what about you? What do you think on that?
I think, like Mike was saying, with the chemistry that they talk about, I think they go into every game thinking the expectations are to win. How are we going to win? Who's going to do it today? I don't think there's no. And we, as fans, also watching TV, we just have a feeling that they're going to win.
Yeah.
They're going to score first. Somehow they're going to win this game.
Yeah, it's like, how can we win this game tonight?
Yeah.
And I happened to be at the 22nd winning streak game. Just happened. It was a fluke because my brother was coming in from Idaho. It was the only day he could possibly go. I had tickets, and what took place there, it was just amazing.
It was enthusiastic crowd just from watching it on television there, and that was bottom of the ninth inning.
Right,
wasn't it?
bottom of the
Yeah,
ninth.
that's right. Frankie getting
2
that,
outs. Frankie gets
strike
that
hit.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple surprises that I picked out for myself, see what you guys think about this. To me, one of them was their ability to win games with key injuries to key players.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought when some of those key individuals would go down, not that they would falter, but no way they would be on a stretch like this.
I mean, even now we're waiting to see if Chisinau is going to be healthy. Is Geyer going to be ready before we have our rosters for today, but it could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
But just like last year, it doesn't matter who they put out there. You got to see a Bradley Zimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Jackson showed the real player he truly is, and it just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I also thought that the youngsters that came up in September, not only did they play, but they all performed.
They did, yeah. And that it goes to show you good scouting and by the front office and then their scouts and for getting these players and like we've talked about Tito pushing the right buttons, giving players days off and getting putting Kipnis in center field, putting Urshela, bringing him up, maybe putting him at first base for a game or two, and Diaz, these interchangeable parts that have worked, and it's just been an amazing job. Whether it's a fluky situation that everything has worked, or it's talent or whatever, but whatever it is, it's worked, and everything is just kind of fallen into place so far.
It almost seems foolish for me to ask this, but was there anything disappointing to you so far this year? So far. Actually, it's almost the whole year is just about completed, but anything disappointing? Yes, we have to look into the first half of the season and come up with something.
It's not injury related.
Yeah, I got something on that kind of thing.
And you mentioned Trevor Bauer. Had I been the GM, the first 3 months, I think he would have been gone.
Yeah.
So, I'm not the GM, and thank God he's still here, because all we've heard for the last 5 years is potential, number one. He was the number one draft pick back in 5-6 years ago. So,
I guess and I'm nitpicking here, but
you have to nitpick.
Cody Allen's kind of been, that there was a series in Boston in late July where he gave up a couple games there, and
because the Red Sox were stealing signs.
Yes, that's right. And and he gave one up in Seattle a couple nights ago, and closers do that, so it's hard to do that. But Boston is a team that I would scares me more than Houston, because playing in that goofy Fenway Park, you never know those bounces, and
plus they have a revenge factor.
And if you get Sale on a hot night, and they scare me more than Houston does. So if that's a nitpicky, I know, but that's probably my main concern right now is getting a lights out performance from Allen.
Also, Kipnis, we expected a little bit more out of him, although I know he's a fan favorite. And Kipnis and Salazar.
Yeah.
Up and down roller coaster year.
Salazar's been a disappointment.
Yeah.
But you never know what could happen in the postseason.
Right.
Keeping the outfield healthy. That's been an issue all year long with Chisinau and Geyer, Almonte. Who else has been down in the outfield?
Well, Brantley.
Brantley.
We forgot about Brantley.
Yeah.
Geyer's out now.
Geyer. I read, Brantley was, set back a week or so, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, we still have Brantley. Here's here's an all-star, and we forgot about him because everything has been kind of moving along, and here's one of your better players, and I don't know, most fans have forgotten about him, but it's been, oh yeah, he's still on the team. Who knows what's going to happen with him as well.
Bill, what about the slow first half start of Edwin Encarnacion? Did that
Boy, wasn't that scary?
kind of bother you a little bit? Like
It did.
I said, where's all this
And-
happiness I had at Christmas time when we got him?
Right, and they kept telling us, don't worry about it. These guys are veteran players. The numbers will surface, and sure enough, did. But yeah, I was wondering maybe it's a new environment. He wasn't even coming close to the pitch, but these guys catch fire after a while.
Mm-hmm. Mike, did you think in the first half of the season, because certainly it hasn't happened in the second half, that part of the offensive struggles came from the top three in the batting order unable to get on base?
Yeah, I would say so. And playing that extra month, it may be an excuse, but playing that extra month, I think, took its toll. And then played in the WBC for certain players, Miller especially. I don't like the WBC, especially when it's played, in March. I don't see a benefit in that, in that classic playing when it is. I think it took its toll on some players, and then I think it took them a while just to get into a rhythm. And the best thing that I think that happened to Kluber was him going on the DL. Got him some extra rest earlier in May, and then he came out and after his stint, and he's been lights out. So then once they got into a rhythm, and then they got Lindor in the leadoff spot, I think they started to kind of take off there, and got into a rhythm, and just everything started to work from there.
Mike, you talked a little bit already about Michael Brantley. I don't expect to see him at all in October. What's your feelings on that?
No, it's too late now.
Right, I agree.
And I'd like, what exactly did happen with his ankle? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it going to be another Grady Sizemore situation?
Boy, it sure kind of starting to sound that way.
I mean,
I feel bad because
your best player missing.
Yeah.
We assume he's going to miss 2 postseasons in a row.
Yeah,
and like you said, Mike, it's like we haven't missed him, but we still want him in the lineup.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, and it's too bad because he's a great hitter, and he's a great clubhouse guy. And right now, at least, his bat is it's unaffected right now, and you hope it. Unfortunately, you hope it stays that way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It is too bad, but you certainly hope it's not another Sizemore. But it's almost
he can't run.
It's almost becoming like one.
I mean, the whole injury was a big mystery. It's like he just walking in the outfield, sprained his ankle. And gone. It is sad.
I feel bad for him.
He won't be out there in October.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Bill, Jason Kipnis, you talked a little bit about him too. Of course, the Indians are going to try him in center field. They have been trying him the last few games. I guess they want to play some center field in the postseason. But here's where I'm going to question the greatest manager in baseball again. Why not left field? A little bit easier than center field. If he's going to have leg problems, why not left, do you think?
Well, maybe you will see him on left. I don't know. Maybe he was a center fielder, and I don't know which. I know he played
He was
outfield
in
before.
college, I think, center
Yeah,
field.
and they converted him to second baseman. Yeah, that's a good question. I never thought of it. He's got Austin Jackson going to play center.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike, on
Yeah,
that?
that is a good question. Maybe Tito.
Doesn't also have something to do with it, you think?
Maybe Tito thinks he can be protected more so by his corner outfielders rather
Well, see,
than
that's a good point.
rather
That's
than
a good
having
point.
to
Yeah, that is an excellent point.
rather than having to play caroms off the wall or stuff down the line, where his corner outfielders can help him out a little bit more with gap shots rather than him having to deal with line drives down the line or off the
That's
wall.
an excellent point.
So,
Yeah, I didn't
that's
think of that.
possible.
Mhm.
I can see the Indians trying to deal him soon.
Deal
Kipnis,
Kipnis?
especially if
I think so, too.
if Greg Allen, if he continues to progress, and they certainly have a lot of. It seems like they have a lot of depth in the minors, and I can see him trying to deal Kip here in the next couple year or two.
Yeah, he obviously is not in their second base plans. It seems like.
Yeah, so-
And he's slumped the last couple of years, up and down.
This has been his worst offensive season, plus he's been injury-riddled ever since spring training. I
Yeah.
think he was even injured there. He didn't start the season, then he's had a couple of stints on the DL.
Yeah.
But why? Why? I said this a month ago, and I'm going to say it still. Why do I feel if he stays healthy, I feel he's going to be a big name in the postseason for the Indians offensively? I just feel it. I don't know why I feel it. Because I feel sorry for him because of the year he's had. I just think he's going to put it together in the postseason, and that would be dandy.
Yeah, and I think he had a good postseason last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Had that big 3-run homer at Wrigley Field, I
Yeah.
remember.
It's going to be interesting to see who was on the postseason roster.
We're going to get to that, Mike.
Okay.
We are going to get to that because that is tough. I know
Yeah.
Bill and I were talking before we came on, trying to figure that out. But if anybody can, it would be Terry Francona.
Yeah.
Mike Clevenger. What were your thoughts, Mike, on him being selected to go to the bullpen for the last week of the season and I guess the postseason?
Well, that surprised me, especially the way he's been pitching out of the starting rotation. A little puzzled by that. Of course, you got Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer, and then I'm assuming Tomlin. Then
He said Salazar, Tomlin, or Merritt, one of the three.
okay. Little surprised at that, the way Clevenger's been pitching. That he wouldn't be in a starting spot. But I think Clevenger's a kid who can adjust. He can give you length from the bullpen. But I would think that you would want to keep him with a rhythm too, the way he's been pitching, and keep him as a starter. But
I think Terry said he looked at him as a weapon coming out of that bullpen. He can use him in innings 1 through 9 if
Which,
you wanted to,
yeah.
any of the innings.
and Terry certainly knows a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
So.
Last year we didn't even know who Ryan Merritt was.
Yeah,
so.
right.
And that's one question I have. Why isn't Merritt up with this team more? I don't understand why he doesn't pitch.
Well,
and Bill, maybe since you
You see him a lot in
you
spring
see him a
training.
lot.
don't you?
Why isn't Merritt up with this team more so?
Well, look at the depth that we have.
Yeah, true.
I mean, just trying to make out this roster. Where's everybody going to play? We got 25 guys to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's a
true.
beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we have several options. Even last year, we had some pieces for a trade you could put together. Even more so this year, I think.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
true.
Bill, Roberto Perez and Yan Gomes. Who's the number 1 guy?
It's going to be Perez. Has to be.
I think he's made some of the difference in Trevor Bauer. I mean,
Yeah.
he's his personal catcher. I think he's now going to start catching for Danny Salazar as well.
Yeah, I think Gomes, nice guy. Just boy, unless he catches fire, which I mean, it's kind of. Yeah, I know he had 2 home runs the other day.
Yeah.
But I think Perez is the guy. I think he proved what he could do last year.
Terry has certainly increased his playing time in the last month or so
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, so he's geared up. He's getting it right.
Yeah. The catchers were put down all season long for their production, but yet when you put them together, they were saying their RBI total is second on the Indians team, next to Encarnacion when you put them together.
Yeah.
Sure.
Santana, Brantley, and Bruce are all going to be free agents after the year. If you could only sign one, Bill, who's it going to be?
Ooh, that's a tough
Can only sign one. That's a question I'm asking. I'm hoping they sign three. But if you could only sign one of those three, Santana. Mike?
I say Bruce.
You say Bruce. Okay, why Santana? Because I agree with Bill. I like Santana too.
Well, it's definitely not Brantley. They're not going to spend $11 million on him.
I didn't even know he was a free agent until I heard that.
It's an option year.
Oh,
They
okay.
can do $1
Who's got
million.
the option? Him or the team?
Oh, I'm not sure, but it's $1 million buyout, 11 million.
Okay.
Bring him back. But I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But anyway, I think Santana gives you more. He gives you more
Plays
offensively.
every day.
Plays every day, walks. He's playing a great first base now. He manages to get on base. And Bruce is kind of one-dimensional. Plays a decent right field, not great. He'll hit you some home runs. His numbers haven't been really dazzling. But yeah, I'm spending that kind of money. I'm giving it to Santana.
Mike, why Bruce?
I don't, and I agree with Bill that Santana may provide more. I like Bruce's enthusiasm. I think he's been languishing in Cincinnati and the Mets for his entire career, and he's kind of rounding third, and he has a few more good years left, and I think he provides energy and excitement and a good clubhouse guy, and basically this is his last stand, and I think he wants to win, and then in addition to a pretty decent bat and a pretty decent right field, I think he gives you a little bit more in the clubhouse as well as production on the field.
I think the three of us will agree he certainly did help their offense, putting them right there in that number 5 or 6 hole there.
Yeah.
An offense that was sputtering a little bit until Jay Bruce came along. When the Indians go into the ALDS, there's 3 teams we know that they could be playing: the Yankees, the Red Sox, or even the Twins. Any of those teams scare you, Bill?
Yankees always scary, don't they?
Yeah, you do.
They got
Maybe
a lot
it's
of
the
youth.
history. Maybe it's the history that comes along with
They
it.
got a lot of youth in their lineup.
Yeah, they've
Which
really
could
gone
come
to
into
youth.
play in the postseason
Right.
as far as inexperience, we hope, if that's who we play. But
I probably Yankees.
Yankees? What
Oh,
about
I've
you,
already,
Mike?
I've already
Oh, you
said
said
Boston.
Boston, yeah.
With Sale, I like with Sale, you get him on a hot day, and he's one of the best pitchers, obviously, in the league, and I like him that if at home, that's certainly a benefit. But I don't know, I feel like they sometimes have our number. The Yankees, yeah, they're tough as well. I still think they're a year or 2 away though, with their youth. But they're going to be, they'll be good. They're going to give Boston a run, in a year or 2.
And with the Minnesota Twins, of course, the regular season, I guess, means nothing. The Indians proved that last year.
Right.
Minnesota Twins like to win in Cleveland.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And you know who always kills this? Brian Dozier.
Yes.
he does.
I mean,
Max
just
Kepler.
walk him. Just walk him. Every game.
And they never give up.
They score a ton of runs.
They always play Cleveland tough,
Yeah.
and they never give up.
Yeah.
And
Are you surprised they hung around?
yes,
Yeah.
very
I
surprised.
think everybody is
They got
surprised.
Bartolo Colon in their rotation.
Yeah.
that tells you right then and there. But
Yeah.
they
I
just
think he's
never
going
give
tomorrow
up.
night. Yeah.
Never give up. And that's a credit to them.
Yeah, it is. We got 3 pitchers with 16 or more wins. No other team in Major League Baseball has that. You got an 18-game winner in Corey Kluber. Bill, does he get the Cy Young Award?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were real confident
Oh.
about that.
He has to.
What about those big reporters on the East Coast?
There's no way.
He has to.
Dominant.
Mike?
Oh yeah. I would. If it's not unanimous, it's near unanimous. Sale may get a stray vote from a East Coaster, but it has to be near unanimous for Kluber. What he's done this year has been incredible.
Mm-hmm. Something else incredible, guys, is in the last 2 years, last year and so far this year, they have never lost more than 4 games in a row. That's how you win baseball games. They stayed away from the losing streaks. And I was always told, what usually follows a long winning streak, you start going into a long losing streak. But they have the ability 2 years in a row to not do that.
Yeah.
Is that because of their pitching? Has to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and because they have that, they have the, even before this year, they had that guy who can stop that losing streak. Even a Bauer or Carrasco, even before this year, they had that potential to, stop that losing streak before it really spun out of control. And that's more important, I think, than a big winning streak, is stopping that slide. Because once that slide starts, you don't know when it's going to stop. That's a big reason, is that pitching staff.
And that could go in hand with team chemistry, the desire to win. I think it seems like it was Tomlin that always stopped it. There was always.
I think you're right on Josh Tomlin. Yeah. 22-game winning streak, you talked about that. They had a 9-game winning streak, multiple 6-game winning streaks, a 5-game winning streak. That is just unbelievable.
And you look at the future, the only thing we gotta worry about now is guys leaving, like the 95 Indians. We can't afford to pay them all.
Yeah.
Tribe 53-28 on the road this year. That's a franchise record. They broke the 1954 record when they won 52. 53 road wins, 28. But still important to get home field advantage, because do you feel like I do that in the playoffs it's a whole different ball game as far as home field crowds?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, well, I was at some of those games last year in the postseason. There's nothing like it. That crowd is the difference. And even though it didn't work out well in the World Series, it was still it's still.
It was still great to host that
Yeah,
game
it's,
7.
it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. It's sports.
It's not the Cubs, because half of your stadium is Cub fans.
Yeah, that was just.
Oh, it was.
That was just an
I know.
Obama day. That was just because of the 108 years.
Well, if the Indians are in the World Series this year, the whole country better start rooting for the Indians then this year, because they're the next one, right?
Yeah. I tell you, I went to one of those Dodgers games in June, and it kind of had a postseason feel, even though it was way back when, and the Indians were still kind of languishing. It was still, it almost had a postseason feel, and like these two teams were, not that they will go to the World Series, but it almost felt like, this was a important series back in June, and the Dodgers, even though they, have struggled a little bit, they had that little bad stretch there, but they're a very good team. They're a very good team.
Bill, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor versus Omar Vizquel and Roberto Alomar.
I'll take the 2 we have right now.
You would. Mike?
Oh boy, I think you have to wait. I think you got to wait and see how they progress over the years.
Defensively, I still got to go with Vizquel and Alomar. Offensively, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, offensively, definitely
question.
Lindor over Omar.
They're both exciting to watch.
Oh, they are.
Alomar and Ramirez is kind of close though, but Lindor definitely over Omar with the bat.
As much as we all love Omar.
3 players on the club with 33 home runs or more. That's incredible. And you got another guy ready to hit 30, and Jose Ramirez with 29.
That's amazing where this guy came from.
I know.
I mean, he was nothing.
He was.
Basically nothing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's an MVP candidate.
Then he's filling at third, and then he's taking over second. Now he's taking over second.
And the way he hustles.
There's another guy that can go out in left field. He played it last year.
The way he hustles.
All right, I never thought of that.
Yeah, he played it
You're
last
right.
year.
He was all over the place trying just to get him in the lineup.
Did you think of that when you're figuring out your 25-man roster?
No, I didn't. But I was
Because
looking at
Ramirez
Kipnis,
can fill a
who
lot of
never out.
spots.
You're right. You can.
No,
You
yeah,
can put Santana in right field too if you
Yeah,
want to.
that's right, too.
You can. Yeah.
That's right. Bruce can come in at first, or Shella can go to first.
That's right.
Well, let's find out what you guys think about the playoff roster. Let's start with the pitching staff. Well, we all have to agree Cody Allen's going to make it.
Yes.
I got Sean Armstrong out.
Yeah, it's pretty safe to say.
Yeah.
I got Trevor Bauer in.
Yes.
I know some of this sounds... Craig Breeslow I have out,
Yep.
even though he's a left-hander, and you always want left-handers. Carlos Carrasco and Mike Clevenger are both in. Kyle Crockett is out.
Yeah.
Nick Goody and Corey Kluber, of course, are in.
Yes.
Zach McAllister was tough for me, but I took him out.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, tough one, but
I kept
Took
him.
him out.
I kept
you
him.
kept.
Who kept it? What about you, Mike?
Well, if Clevenger is your bullpen guy, then I'd say out.
I took Ryan Merritt out, but apparently he's not going to be out if we can go by the hints that Terry Francona is leaving.
I left him out
Based on
Because-
inactivity?
because
Like Mike
I
was talking about.
left Tomlin out.
I was on the fence, but I looked at it. Longest tenure player, how can you do that?
Well, look, he's been up and down.
Yeah, it's-
Salazar, who are you going to get? You flip a coin, who's going to stake in the mound? Where's the ball going?
Yeah.
There's
Too many good pitchers. That's the
Yeah,
bottom.
you're right.
Andrew Miller and Tyler Olson, of course. I think Tyler Olson's got to be.
he
in
has
there.
to be.
Olsen has to be in.
He
Yeah.
has to be.
on there.
Dan Otero has to be.
Yeah.
Danny Salazar, he has to be. Even though his year has been, he just has to be.
Yeah.
He could throw the
You're right.
97-mile-an-hour pitch coming out of that bullpen.
Yeah.
Brian Shaw, as much as he gets the knocks, I think he's
Right.
come on pretty well in September.
Yeah, he's Tito likes him. He's in.
Joe Smith is in.
Yep.
See why I had
No,
to take
I don't
Zach?
have Joe Smith.
You don't have
No,
to.
I don't.
Oh, tell us why.
I don't have any room for him.
Oh, well, see, that's why I took McAllister
What are you
out.
taking, 12 or 13?
Well, Terry likes that bullpen. He
Yeah,
does
he
a great
does,
job
yeah.
in that bullpen. I bet he takes 13.
No.
I had to take
went with 12.
McAllister out. I had to leave Joe Smith in.
Actually, Smith's numbers aren't that great, and I know he's got the fancy sidewinder,
Yeah.
but
Wow. Mike?
Smitty's in.
Smitty's in.
I guess if you're taking 13, Schmitty's in.
It's tough.
It's
it really
tough.
is.
It really is.
Catching, of course, Gomes and Perez in there,
Right.
and me is out
Yeah.
for now. He
Yeah.
might be in there next year.
Yeah, definitely.
What do we got here for infielders? I found this awfully tough too. Yandy Diaz, Giovanni Urshela. You can't keep both, can you, on the roster?
I did.
You did. Okay, we're going to find out in a minute why. Mike, can you
I-
keep both of those guys
I'd
on the
say
roster?
no.
You'd say no. So which one would you keep?
I'd say Gio.
Gio. Okay, because you know you can also move Ramirez over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do with? I took Eric Gonzalez out.
Yeah. Agree.
Bruce,
Yeah,
Bill.
I took him out.
So I took Urshela out and I took Gonzalez out. I kept Diaz, Kipnis, Lindor, Ramirez, and Santana and Encarnacion.
Who's your utility at infield?
I got Diaz.
Oh, you're
Kipnis.
carrying Diaz.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm carrying Kipnis. I'm counting him as an infielder.
Why?
I don't know why. Lindor, because the roster's got him there as an infielder. I just thought of that, by the way. I'm catching him as an infielder, and they're going
Yeah.
to make him an outfielder. Ramirez, Santana, and Encarnacion.
Well,
But
I
you
got
kept both Diaz and Urshela.
right. I'm keeping Diaz in for 6 innings, then Gio's getting the rest of the game. Either one, you're flipping a coin if they're going to hit. I'd love if Gio would hit. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, yeah.
You'd have the
Yeah,
total
Then your
package.
answers. You got your answer, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Yandy hasn't really taken off, but the potential's,
Yeah.
you want him to go 4-for-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
It's tough, isn't
It
it?
is tough.
How about the outfield? I got Greg Allen out.
Yep.
Even though
Yeah.
we may have center field issues, I had to take him out.
Right.
Abraham Almonte went on the fence, but because of the injuries, Bill, you were relating to with Geyer and Chisenhall, I kept Almonte on my roster.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
have to.
yeah.
And I'm hoping Chisenhall is ready.
Yes.
I got him on, Geyer on, Bruce on, Jackson, of course. I had to take Naquin out.
Yeah, another forgotten one.
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
packaged up.
Yeah.
You know, I think they still hold that air in the World Series over
Yes.
his head.
Yeah. Well, that was a big error.
And then he got upset when he
right
got sent
field,
down.
Naquin and Chisenhall getting mixed up.
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people got that in the back of their head. And I wish him well, and
Yeah.
it's sad.
Diaz and Urshela, I got to get back to that. So, one of those guys is going to get traded in a package deal.
Boy.
And if so,
Well, yeah, you can be Mike Moustakas at third base. You can have one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
how about Lorenzo Cain in center field?
Or do you like Diaz? If you don't want to give Santana any money, put Diaz at DH.
We're going to do it Encarnacion.
Or, oh yeah, you're right.
It's
Well, he
tough.
plays first base.
When you
He
got a
plays
good,
first.
solid team like this, it's tough, isn't it?
I like that,
These are pleasant problems.
I like Moustakas at third.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
I like Lorenzo Cain in
How many
center
home runs
better.
would we hit? We'd have 530 run.
I like
30
Cain
home-
in center better.
Kane? Oh, over Kipnis, yeah.
Yeah.
Kipnis is gone. You're right.
Kipnis is gone.
I hate to say it. Nice guy.
But
Okay.
you got to put somebody in there with him, right? You can't just give up Kipnis. Or
No.
can you?
No, they.
No.
they'll
Other
go
teams
have
are gonna want
they'll have
somebody to go
package
with them.
somebody.
Yeah, geez, you got so many guys.
What do you need?
What do we need?
Say you never have enough pitching.
Yeah, you still need
Could use
pitching.
another good 3-4 starter, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, you can never have too much pitching.
You know how injuries happen all
Yep.
the time.
These are good problems to have.
Mike, you talked about Corey Kluber having that month off may have been the best thing to happen to him going to the postseason. I guess we can say the same thing maybe about Andrew Miller.
Yes. Yeah. 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 That's. And
Been
I
a
think,
little shaky coming
I think
in.
the WBC really affected him. Just, I don't know. He's so tall and lanky, and he's all arms and legs, and I think that the extended season, and he was used a lot in the postseason, and then he pitched a month earlier, and I just think he was used a lot last in the postseason, and then he had some injuries, and I just think he was a lot last year, so he's working himself back into shape, and I think he'll be fine once the postseason comes.
Both of you guys said Corey Kluber will get the Cy Young Award winner. I do agree with that. Although Bill makes it sound like he's going to blow Sale away.
I'm not blown away, but it'll be decisive.
Manager of the year? Or is Paul Molitor going to take that away from Terry Francona?
I don't think Terry gets it. Last year
Well, the 22-game winning streak. he
they
doesn't get it.
overachieved. They really did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Nobody expected us to be where we were. This year, it's like, why? This is where we should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Molitor. And nobody expected to cut. Or
About the
Twins to-
Houston manager, what's his name? Hinch.
Yeah.
Good candidates there.
Yeah. The problem is I can't say I can't give it to somebody with a 22-game winning streak.
You can't.
Yeah, I just can't.
Why is that?
That's just so unprecedented in sports
Mhm.
to have that type of winning streak. You can't. I don't know. I just
Something
can't.
that the three of us will probably never see again.
No, in any sport to have that
Exactly,
type
yeah.
of a winning streak.
Especially in Major League Baseball, where
Yeah.
you play every day.
Yeah, I mean that's I can't equate it to any other sports. I don't think you can equate it to any other sport.
And they were trying to compare it to those old numbers. That you can't do that.
No,
No,
you
you
can't.
can't. Right.
It's just I don't know. You can't equate it to any other sport.
These are
But it's like
certainly
winning like 50 straight games in basketball almost, or
Yeah.
or something of that nature. It's impossible to, how hard it is to win 5 games in a
Yeah.
row.
Certainly exciting times for the Indians. Bill, who's their best player? Who do you want up in the bottom of the 9th inning with the runner at second base down a run?
Jose Ramirez.
Yep, I do.
Yeah, Ramirez. Yeah, because he'll find a way to get the bat on the ball,
Yep.
and he'll hustle his fanny off to get to first or second or third. I haven't seen a guy in a while who hustles as much as he does out of the box to try to get to second base. It's just it's amazing.
When he did that during that 20-second game, went to second base, I about came out of my chair. What are you doing?
Even against the Angels last week, those doubles that he got. I mean, a lot of guys loaf to second
Yeah.
base. He just
All you can think of when you think of Jose and Frankie are 2 little kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
2 little kids having fun playing baseball.
Mike, what was their biggest acquisition this year? Jay Bruce or Joe Smith?
I'd say Bruce, just because I don't know. They needed some energy. I thought, even though they were starting to play better, but I just think Bruce gave them a lot of energy, and I think his first couple games he did some well, gave them some good.
Yeah, he helped out an offense that
Good-
needed some help.
Good energy. I think he was excited to be here. Like I say, he was languishing with the Mets, and played with bad Cincinnati teams, and this guy wants to win, and I think that just kind of rubbed off on a lot of people.
But Bill's not a Joe Smith fan, but
I'm a Joe Smith.
But that turned out to be a pretty good acquisition with
It did.
Andrew Miller
Yeah.
going down.
It did. And let's tip our caps to management
Yes,
because they opened up their wallet and
and they've been
And they were always
crucified
criticized for that.
and they got that minority owner that came in, helped out with some bucks. To get credit to Dolan, and Antonetti's done a good job, and this is their window. Let's face it. They have a few years. That this may not happen after a few years. They may be back to
selling off.
selling off.
Yeah.
Who knows? So they got to take advantage of the players they have. And
Well, I think we all 3 of us agree that they could certainly go all the way, but that's easier said than done. Mike, do they go all the way?
Well, that's a tough question. To the World Series or win the World Series?
Win the whole thing.
Wow.
Do they do it this
That's
year?
a loaded question, Chuck.
I like to close out the show with a bang.
I'm going to say yes.
Bill,
I'm going to say yes based on last year's team experience.
so you're going to have an exciting trip to Goodyear in March.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say. No. I would like to say yes too. I don't know what it is. The only thing that scares me, and you guys kind of taking that away from me a little bit, is are they going to run out of energy from all the winning in September? But you both feel that that's not going to be the case.
No, I think Tito has them so grounded. I think just
Focused.
focused day by day, and I think they're going to take that sentiment all the way through. And I don't think they're going to get too high or too low. I just think they're just going to keep playing, like it's normal, like it's whatever day it is.
Be good to have the home field crowd too.
That would be nice.
Well, thanks Mike Greco, sports editor to the Star Beacon, Bill Kehoe, longtime visitor to Indian spring training, for being my guest today on Around the Town with Chuck, and go Tribe.